It just feels like as you get older, the time just goes by so much faster. And if you have kids that you watch and you see them like grow up and stuff, like you're just watching them, grow up and get bigger, you're just like, oh my goodness, it passes by so fast. And I don't know, time just feels like it goes by faster, especially when you have kids. But even if you don't have kids, I mean, I think as you get older as an adult, like time just passes by so much faster. And um, it really just puts things into perspective, right? Like what's important, what's not important. So yeah, I guess that was just like a thought that I had when I looked at the date and I'm like, man, this month is almost over. This year, really. I mean, the holidays are coming and everything's just gonna fly by so quickly.
Oh, I need a.
What?
I'll move my chair.
Yeah, you're taking up a lot of space.
Sorry. There.
I know we tell people to take up space, but leave me some too.
You ready? Ready to get started?
Born ready, baby. Born ready.
There's a quote. They say, "Stay ready, never gotta get ready." Right? So, yes, time is passing by so fast.
Right? Kids are back in school and like the holidays are coming and the fall weather is coming in just a little bit. I know it's going to be warmer this week, but I'm excited. Like, I love the holidays. I love them. I just, love being able to, I don't know, it's like you kind of slow down, but you speed up, I try to make holidays last a little bit longer because they remind me of family and being together and just enjoying each other's presence, for like the last few months of the year.
Yeah, and it's just to add on, like time, whether it goes fast or slow, like what are we gonna do with it? Right?
Make the most out of it.
Exactly.
Shine, make the most out of it.
Exactly. So with that said, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna check everything. But welcome back to Fire Hour. So I think we're on episode 32 of season 4. Isn't that interesting?
It's interesting because I never know until you tell me. But then again, you're the one looking through the videos.
Season 4 means we've just been doing this for 4 years now. All right. It started in 2020.
On accident too.
Yeah, it was just on accident. We're not gonna get into the story, but yeah, it's just because it was meant to be. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything. Um, okay, when it comes to today's episode, we're gonna just touch up on the last 21 laws of irrefutable, or 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. Okay, just to finish that up, and then we'll also talk about social media, more social media, because it seems like there's a lot of engagement around it. There's questions. There's just like it's just going right. Was there something else? Okay.
It's up to you if you wanted to go over it the 4 something.
Oh yeah, I saw Jackie. She mentioned she for yesterday's Empower Hour.
Oh, she didn't have one, but she like left something like a video for people to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah. So with Eric Worre's his it's called the 4-question close, right? So I'll just briefly touch upon that because that's such a good like frame. It's a timeless framework, so I'll talk about that. But we're gonna wrap up the 21 laws first, and then from there we'll go into that, and we'll go back and forth. So like what you want.
So I think we went down 5 of them only, because we got a little bit sidetracked, but it was good. So I'm just trying to find where I left off. If you guys have questions on anything, put it in the chat. Um, so I know that we went over 5 of them. I should have numbered these because, all right. So I think we went through the last one we touched on was like the law of navigation, right? Which is vision, direction. The law of addition, right? So 21 Irrefutable Laws is a leadership book by John C. Maxwell. He is known in his industry as one of the best, right? So he wrote this book. If you are, learning to become a leader for the first time, if you're learning about leadership, and he discovered over his, what I think over 40 plus years of experience that there were about 21 things that made a leader great, and not necessarily that every leader has to be great at all 21. There are things that you're probably really good at, and there's things that, you're not that great at, which is fine. And so the law of addition, right? So leaders add value by serving others, and effective leaders focus on helping others succeed. Um, and so in the book, he talks about, some of the great leaders of different times, and they would have like millions of people just follow them. They were so influential that, people would look at them like, this happened. Where should we go? What should we do? Like, what's the direction that we take,
Mhm.
And so to be able to have like the addition to add value to people, like when you add value to people, they automatically are just like, this is something different. Um, and then the next one is the law of solid ground. So, trust is the foundation of leadership, right? Like, if you don't have trust, you can't lead effectively. Like, if people do not trust you, they're not going to follow you. They're not going to listen to what you say because they don't trust you, right? And that's just human nature. So, really building trust with people is important because they want to see what type of person you are because they're watching everything that you do. Like, regardless of what you say, people are always watching, just like kids, right? So, through integrity and consistency, adding value, all the things, and just being there when, people really need you, they start to trust you. And then when they trust you because of who you are as a person, they have a foundation, right? And so the first layer, the first is trust. You can't have people
Mhm.
trust you. They're not going to follow you. It doesn't matter what you say. You could say the best things. So
Yeah.
you always want to be honest and keep your promises and admit mistakes, right? Like I think I don't know, for me, like if people make a mistake, like I think it's fine, but when they can't admit it or when they shift blame or project or like deflect, it's like, okay, this person doesn't take accountability. Like this is not someone that I would trust, right? Because if you're choosing them as a leader and they lead you in the wrong direction and they're like, oh, it's not my fault, then it's like, okay, then whose fault is it, right? And oftentimes leaders, they have to take the blame for things, right? Like
Yeah.
what you said before. And I think that this was actually John C. Maxwell's quote where it was everything rises and falls on leadership, right? So, regardless of your action or your inaction, because inaction is the same thing as action, right? It's a choice, it's a decision that you make.
Yeah.
Wherever the team goes or flows, like that's on you, right?
Yeah, it's true. And like leaders like will take the responsibility, right, into their own hands. So uh it's because like this is just my perspective, but when it comes to like working with the team, like you guys are all it's basically one, right? In a business,
Yeah.
like a business entity, for example, like when you first start like in business, if you're like starting solo, right, you are a team of just one. But then when you have like your first employee, now there's two, right? Like just because you have two doesn't mean that there's two different teams or two different entities. It's one entity, it's one team. You guys now become one, right? And then as you recruit more people, more talent, as you recruit and expand your team, right? Let's say that you have like, 10 employees now, right? Or 10 team members, right? That is, you're all going in the same direction, regardless of whatever everyone does, because you guys are a team, a unit now, right? And so when it comes to like what you're talking about, like the leaders, like people who are leaders, like true leaders, whether the good, the bad, etc., it's important that the leader, right? The leader, and I truly believe that everything and everyone is a leader, right? Because that's just the name of the game when it comes to business, especially, and when it comes to elevating everyone, around you and yourself. And
Yeah.
so, like the leader will always take responsibility and accountability for everyone, no matter what.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like the mistakes, especially when it comes to things that are not going right. And for me, like what I was going to share is that it's so important to know this because like we are all together. We're running together. So if you have a team, right? Like you guys are running together, whether you like it or not. So it's better to just like actually take responsibility, take accountability for it, and then from there, like lead the ship, like lead by example. If you know better, then be better. Like that's a quote that we learned, and it's just so true. And so, how can you help others, like guide them and lead them when they're lost? Especially when they're on your team because it's going to affect you no matter what, right? So if it's affecting you, like you might as well do something about it. So that's just my take on it. or at least one perspective.
And it doesn't just have to be like a business, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
look at what we're doing. It's almost like a volunteer army. Like it's up to you whether you want to show up or not for yourself and for your team. And in life, right? Like if you're a parent, you have other people that you're watching out for, like you're already a leader, right? And so, and look at communities, right? Um, there's nonprofits,
Mhm.
there's religions, like there's always a leader there, right? And there's always people following. Like what are some of the characteristics of people that you really admire? You know, like whatever you see in someone that you admire, maybe someone else is looking at you for that same thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. The people that like, you'll stand out. Okay. That's the benefit, right? Of working on yourself and elevating your game. You'll just stand out. You'll start to stand out. And by standing out, by getting attention, right? The more attention you have, the more everything amplifies. Like,
Influence, yeah.
yeah, like whether it's good or bad, right? So that's where the work comes in. Being able to really understand and have clarity with what you want to share, like with the world, with other people, right? They're gonna look at you and regardless of how they judge you, okay? Because everyone will judge,
Mhm.
right? It's like what you said before, everyone will judge, but that's their right. It's their right to judge you no matter what. However, how you respond and react to their judgment will dictate whether you're it's gonna be everything. Okay, how you respond and how you react to everything in this world, everything that people say about you, or how they judge you, or how they think about you, regardless, right? Everything that they do, it's out of your control. So only you can control what's within. That's it. And there was like another thing I wanted to add when it comes to KLT, right? Know, like, and trust. So this is part of like social media, part of sales, part of entrepreneurship, part of business, part of life. But when it comes, what was that one that you were talking about? The
Well,
trust? It's trust. So there was I'm like in a,
the law of solid ground. Trust is the foundation of leadership.
okay, thank you. So I'm in like the school communities, right? I'm like actively like, so an IPA, right? An income producing activity is just connecting with people, right? Connecting with people to the point where there is an opportunity to talk about, sales, your product or service, right? There's an opportunity to talk about getting money in the door, basically, doing business, a transaction, etc. So when it comes to like networking is just talking to another person. It's just connecting with another person. You never know, right? You never know until you talk to them and connect with them that it now opens the door for a sale, right? A sales opportunity. So for me, like what I'm actively doing throughout my day is I'm actually like, I'm going into different like school communities. There's a platform called School, and I'm just like adding value. I'm like, there's someone who asked yesterday about social media and about being authentic and about KLT, how to establish KLT at the same time as how to build a social media, as well as like how many follower or how many profiles I should manage, and if I should post my family or keep it separate, etc. Right? And so I just went in there and I just put like a little paragraph of my thoughts. I let them know that for the past 8+ years, I've just been helping other people with social media, and that one question that always comes up is, should I post on my social media my family and friends, and how can I be authentic at the same time so that way people can like get to know me, get to like build that KLT. And I literally just said, by being authentic, by being you, like doing what you want to do, that is how you be authentic first and foremost for yourself. Like forget about everyone else, forget about all the noise. Like do whatever you want to do because that's you being authentic. And then the second thing is, here's how you actually address the KLT, right? So the question I'm going to pose to everyone is, how do you build KLT? How do you build know, like, and trust with the people that you're eventually going to do business with, right? Or you would hope to. How do you do that? For me, the answer that I gave him a short answer. I said the best way to build KLT is just by forgetting about yourself and only thinking and focusing about the person that's on the other end. What are they benefiting from your advice, from your value that you're sharing, from the experience that you're sharing? Like what results are they going to get if they were to take all that information from you, right? And if they do receive that information, they do receive value, they get results just because of something that you shared, just because of something that you put your message out there, right? That builds KLT automatically. that builds, it's built within all at the same time. So I just gave him that short answer. Like it's a paragraph in there. And like we'll see what happens. We'll see like if they see it and see what they say. But it's just so simple. It's just you don't have to worry. Like for people who are asking like the question, how do you build KLT? You know, do I have to post my family? Do I have to post all about my life? That's what they're asking. Like, do I need to post everything, like every single thing about my life to the world? Like the answer is you don't have to, because people don't care, right? They don't. People, there's that quote.
Hmm.
It's about like reach for the heart before you reach for the hand, right? And so people are not going to care about everything that you know in your life, etc., until they know how much you care about them. And that was kind of like what I was telling to this person. Like, you don't worry about all that stuff. Like, don't worry about you. Worry about the person you are serving. Worry about the person that needs your help. When you help that person that is in need, right? In need of your support, in need of your knowledge, your experience, your wisdom, your energy, whatever that may be, they will naturally build KLT because that is flow. That is how nature works. It's all in harmony. So when you help one another, harmony and unity comes into play. And guess what happens? Growth, opportunity, life transformation, change, right? Something changes for the better or for the worse. Whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter. It's all just going in one like motion. And so when it comes to like you building KLT on your social media, right? Like forget about you and first and foremost, like know what you want to do and what you want to share. And that's your boundary. Okay. Don't step over your boundaries. You can expand them if you want, but don't step over your own boundaries first and foremost. That's how you be authentic. And then from there, because you're doing what you want to do, regardless of what anyone else says, thinks, or does, right? From there, now you can focus on monetization. Now you can focus on how you build your business, how you want to do your marketing, how you want to do the creative, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then from there, right? Now, how to build KLT, think of them, be in service of them, think of the person that you are helping that is in need of your support, that needs your help, that needs your guidance, that needs your leadership. Then from there, naturally things will happen. Okay. That's fire. Angela, I see your comments. Thank you. FIREHOUR is my favorite call. Shannon Crystal, highly humble and valuable. Thank you. It's really crazy how we get these trainings for free. People pay big money for this type of mentoring. I have a notebook for just FIREHOUR and it's gold. And
Thank you.
I would love a copy of that.
He's like, I'd love to remember what I taught.
No, because
no, he's really good at remembering.
yeah, but like that is important because like this is another thing, right? I forgot the framework, but it's from the military. And it's just so simple. Like the framework is so simple. It's from a strategist that like they were known statistically, like from the military, they were known to be like one of the highest like winning like generals who did strategy for war, for battles. And what they did was they put down like whatever thoughts and perspective, the strategy onto the table. Okay. Mm-hmm. And now that idea was onto the table, now you can turn that idea around. You can be like, all right, this is what it looks like from this angle. This is all the upsides, downsides, and everything in between. Let's turn it again. This now is the upside, downside, and everything in between. And they did this as a strategist. They did this for war. And so what that did was it allowed them to simulate multiple outcomes for war, for battle. And now, like using this framework, like of notes, for example, like whenever like, let's say, for example, Angela was taking those notes and I'm taking my own notes as well. Now we have two different perspectives that we can look at. And now we can refine our own mindset, our own perspectives. Maybe there was a better, easier, faster, more efficient way to do something in business. Maybe what if we like combined these perspectives and we look at it and we turned it and we looked at it from this side and it 10x the revenue in like 30 days.
And that would be like what's called a mastermind, right? Like when people get together and they communicate like, hey, these are my thoughts. This is what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? Right. Mm-hmm. And it's where leaders kind of come together and they're all just kind of showing their perspectives and showing like, what's happening. And they all have different perspectives, right? Because everyone has different strengths and everyone works in different areas. So someone's going to have more data in this place or this place than someone else, right? And that's the power of the mastermind, to be able to come together, communicate effectively, see from everyone's perspective, and be able to come to some type of strategy or some type of compromise, right? Because sometimes people have very strong opinions on how things should be, right? And to move forward, right? Like making a decision.
Yeah, and that's like the people who have like the attachment to their idea, that's all ego, right? That's
Yeah.
all ego, 100%. And as a leader, like it's your job as a leader to overcome the ego. That's why there's books like The New Earth. The New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, it actually addresses the ego and the pain body, and it gives you tools to overcome that. That's why, like when it comes to like working on yourself, it's mind, body, spirit. It's your health, your wealth, everything in between, your mindset,
Yeah.
what's happening within the thoughts that you have. There's all these different like elements that is important for a leader to actually address and really work on and to explore and discover. But if you don't overcome the ego and you're so, let's say, for example, in business, right? If you are so attached to your idea, then that doesn't leave any room for growth. It doesn't leave any room for a different perspective shift that can make everything more efficient. It doesn't leave room for anything else. And so it's like it's my way or the highway. And that is a poor leader. That is someone that is not a leader. That is someone that lacks leadership development, leadership skills, leadership qualities, strategy. Like, why would you only focus and hold on to only one perspective as a strategist? You wouldn't, right? What if the enemy has the same framework, which they do? And guess what? They're like, all right, let's look at it let's put everything on that table. Let's let go of attachment because we don't have ego. We overcame it because we have the tools. We're doing the work. We're actively working on ourselves and being able to like think clearly with clarity, being able to avoid any challenges and struggles that everyone else would face, right? Put it on the table, turn it this way, turn it this way, turn it this way, turn it this way, turn it this way. All right, we found a winning formula. Let's go with that. That right there, that's business strategy. That right there is strategy for more. That is the art of war right there. So guess what, right? For you, when it comes to your business, like this is something that you can use right away and today in this right now, okay? In the now. If you've been doing something, this is just for anything and everything that pertains to your business, okay? Whenever you're doing something, if you've been doing it for so long, and this is something I learned from a mentor as well, right? Double down on what works and cut out the rest. If you are doing something for the longest time and it's not producing the results that you would like to see or that you can intuitively understand and know that, hey, like this is something that it makes sense, it would grow and scale, right? But it's not doing that. Maybe there needs to be a little turn, a little perspective shift, something that needs to change.
A pivot.
Pivot.
Or a little bit more testing.
It's adaptability, flexibility, being able to make room for growth, right? So put it on a table, overcome your ego, let go of control and work with flow. Get in the flow of nature. Work in harmony with everyone else that's on the team. Work in harmony with everyone that is going towards the direction, vision, and mission of what you want to do and achieve in your life and impact the world with, right? So guess what? Leadership, okay? This is a leadership call. Every Fire Hour episode is about leadership development. That's one aspect that pertains to Fire Hour, right? It's all leadership. It's development. You can have the most money, you can have multiple millions and billions without leadership development, without a lack of control of yourself, without all these tools that you are using to overcome the ego, the pain body, your own attachments to your own stuff, etc. Right? Everyone needs to do this, no matter what. And guess what? In history, when it came to civilizations rising and falling, right? One of the biggest attributes to failure, to civilizations falling, like they're crumbling, was number one, it happened from within, meaning that the team, right? Within the team, the organization, the people that are leading the charge, the people that are, they're crushing it they're crushing it, they're running things, okay, etc. Like they're doing things that have never been done in history, okay? They're at the top, they're climbing, growing, etc. And then everything crumbles. One, because internally they didn't do the work. Internally, their egos were so huge and so big that they started to get selfish. They started to become self-absorbed. They started to say, you know what? This is not for the people anymore. This is for me, right? Boom. crumbled, destroyed. Lack of benevolent leadership, lack of leaders who had the right thoughts, the right intentions, the right focus, the right energy, the right actions, all towards the vision and mission of what helped them build it in the first place. Okay. And that's what happens time and time again. Right now, in our lifetimes, I truly believe that we are all leaders. I truly believe that we are the people that are this generation, the people on Fire Hour, you, everyone here. It is our duty and mission, and we have an opportunity to change the future trajectory of our children's generation, right? Of what is happening in the world. That's why, for me, like I believe 100% that every single one of us who actively will intentionally do the work to consciously raise our development within to impact the future generations, it's up to us. It's here. It's us. This is us. We're the ones that are doing the work. We are the ones that have the voices to share with the world, to impact them and to change everything in the future in a positive direction, in my perspective. Okay. So all of these things, these all matter. Okay. And I don't know how big you want to go. I don't know the level of impact you want to do. I want to impact the entire world. That's why we have the nonprofit. That is the vision and mission of it. So for me, when I talk about leadership, I take it seriously. I have coaches and mentors and guides for leadership development. Just because I'm talking about it here on Fire Hour doesn't mean I'm not doing the work. I am actively, intentionally, every single day doing the work because I know what truly matters. I know that what happens in civilization based on history, based on research, based on data, based on the things that have happened, the Roman Empire, for example, all these different empires that have risen and fallen, what are the factors that destroyed them, right? I look at all that. It's all about people. Yeah. Right? It comes back down to people. That's it. So for us, everyone here on Fire Hour, right? What is your duty? What is your mission? What is your intention? How serious are you taking leadership development? And playfully though, at the same time, because we got to be flexible, we got to be adaptable, and we also want to enjoy the journey. But at the same time, there's going to be serious discussions. There's going to be commitments that you got to make. There's going to be obligations that you take. All these different things, it matters. Because at the end of the day, let's say, for example, with Angela, right? Fire Hour 2020. Let's say that we didn't do Fire Hour, what would happen? I don't know. All I know is that if Angela kept on going, she would eventually succeed because her mindset, her development, her commitment to her mission, her purpose, regardless of Fire Hour or not, right? The purpose that is with what was within Angela, she understood. So guess what? It sparked, and the connections that were made, the masterminds that were made, the discussions that were had, et cetera, it all came together and it built something different. It built something completely different for the future of her life and her family's life, right? This is the same thing with every single person out there. It's the same thing with your life too. It's the same thing with every single organization, right? We have an opportunity and chance to do something dramatically different for not just ourselves, but for our family, for our children, for the future generations of history, right? All these different things matter today, okay? It matters in the now. It matters from what you do, your decisions, your mindset, your personal development, your leadership development, every single thing, it matters. So what are you going to do with what's on the table? What are you going to do with the ideas that you have, with the dreams that are not yet lived, with the realities that you could create? Because I truly believe that it's easy to predict the future when you create it, right? So I'm fired up. Sorry.
Don't be. It's good. It's all good stuff.
Yeah. So, okay. I don't know. It's just, I'm really fired up because
you're finally in a flow state of, getting stronger.
I'm just, I've been out of the game for me personally. Like, this is me sharing my stuff. Like, I've been out since 2020, really, Fire Hour was a platform that helped me get my voice out and give, right? Give. I was giving. I was growing through that process, but giving, because I truly believe that I can change people's lives, right? With the information, experience, whatever I have to offer. Okay. So I gave my all in 2020, 2021, gave my all. The results are there. The results are shared. Everything is there. Okay. It's documented. I have all of it. It's all documented. I just haven't posted it because I need to make time for it. Okay.
I know. for the last 4 years, I'm like, you got to do season one. I'm like, the people need to see season one. Like it was completely different versions of ourselves. And, sometimes you look back and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that or said that. Right. But,
Mhm.
it shows the level of growth of how you can be like this and then you can be like that. Right. And there was just so much fire in like those episodes. So I always ask them, I'm like, can you go through those episodes and like upload them? Because that was an 8-figure team in the making, right? Like things happened and it was just insane. And it shows you that it's like, it doesn't matter who you are. We're all different people from different backgrounds, different maybe religions, different beliefs, different ways of living. But when you can all come together and connect and have like one solid vision and just start to go within that energy and that momentum with people beside you, right? Like doing the same things, like magic truly happens. I don't think any of us would have saw like what happened to happen and what is still happening, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, you gotta release those.
Yeah, I'm working on it, but it's just, like, what about the now? Like, what can, like, yes, all of those trainings are great. Like that energy that's there. Like I really put my heart and soul into those trainings. I really put like I left everything on the field, right? Like the tactics and the nuances of those like 1% golds, like it is there too. And there's a lot more as well. But when it comes to like those trainings, like that energy, it was just the energy, right? The energy I put
Yeah.
out there, like I put my energy out there. And so since then, I really haven't put my energy out in a while. And it's just because like I've been developing and working intentionally on myself to transform, to change. Because when you get to one level and at the same, there's like this quote that they say that the person that got you to this point can't get you to the next point because maybe they've never been there. But the thing is that they don't account for the fact that this person who got you there might be working on themselves. They might be training, they might be developing, they might be transforming. So
Mhm.
why wouldn't they be able to get you to here? They can. It's possible, right? It's so possible. So that's why like but it's are they doing the work, right? Are they actively doing the work? If they're not doing the work, then for sure they're not going to get you anywhere else. But if they're actively daily doing the work, like you better believe that they might be able to get you to this place in time, all right? So that's just my perspective, but that's just because of my experience, right? 2020, 2021, give it all, right? Especially in 2020. I just everything, pandemic haircuts, like
I was the one cutting your hair. Oh my goodness. You guys don't understand. It was torture
yeah, I know, sorry.
for
But
me.
that was because I lacked the work, okay? So that right there though, right? Like I didn't care. I was able to just like I did not care like how it looked. I just cared about what I'm giving. That was it. Which in hindsight, right? I'm like, all right, like how if I release these videos, you're gonna see some crazy haircuts.
Yes, from me.
And lack of ego as well. Like it was all ego leading,
Oh
back
yeah,
then.
it was crazy. But like there's so much development that has happened since. And so it's been amazing to like watch you grow as, you're a person, as like an Insta daddy and as like a father to your like own. So
Thank you.
that's why I'm always like, people will see like it was progress and everything that you delivered in that. It's like it was still education. It was still education
Yeah.
on another level that most of us never learned before. Like I didn't do self-development till like 4 or 5 years ago in terms of listening to audibles, reading books, and like self-discovery, right? I was always just like, I got to make money, I got to get wealthy, I got to retire early. So my focus was solely like income based, right?
Yeah.
It was just I got to do what I got to do.
Mhm.
So yeah. And I just want to, Angela says they helped me scale over $16 million in team sales to date. This so far, our highest month since 2020. It's true that people aren't spending. It's not true that people
Mm.
aren't spending. They are. $290,000 in team sales this month so far. I have over 10,000 personal sales. Recession is opportunity. I never go by what the world tells us. People and heart centered. And yes,
Yeah.
like you always just got to stay in your own lane. You know what I mean? Like it's a belief that you have. And people people need what we have, right? Like, I don't know who like is like, I don't need more energy and, like I don't want to get healthier. They need this, right? And if you're talking to people like that, then maybe those are the wrong people and you need to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much good engagement and just wisdom and knowledge like being dropped in the chat. So
Yeah.
make sure to read it. But yeah, it's just true, like it's super true. Like and not only that, but also if you're just talking to one person, like that doesn't leave a lot of room for opportunity and growth, right?
Yeah.
Especially if they don't seem like they're really interested. That's a long term, like think long term and work long term. Don't worry about just short term, right? Keep on bringing more people, more fire. Like start to impact other people's lives, right? Impact the world, raise the universal vibration. Yes, giving for free. Exactly. Because what is like money is just a tool, right? The price is just a tool to get access to whatever it is that you want.
Yeah.
So like, information, like all this knowledge,
Learning.
learning, being able to receive the energy like that, there is a price to pay, for everything, right? If I didn't like share anything, if I didn't do the work actively for the past like decade, etc., even 4 years intentionally, right? Then this would not be free. I mean, this would not be shared. And that means that there would be no way to even access this information. But because I'm willing and able to share and I've been doing the work and there's a platform for us to share, right? And you guys are showing up because you guys are deciding to take action for your lives, for your future, for your future dreams and outcomes and goals and impact that you're going to make, because that's what you're going to do. I believe 100% every single one of you will impact someone else's life and change it 100%. There's no doubt in my mind, right? So guess what, right? Show up and access this information for free because it's true, right? That is the real value. Thank you. Thank you for the shout out and thank you for that feedback, Angela. I really appreciate it. Angela says, Shen introduced me to different mentors. That right there, like it's, like mentorship is huge. Okay. Like I have mentors, like we both have mentors, we have guides, we have coaches. It's just, we can always learn from everyone. Okay. Alex says, I was in the shower and couldn't respond, but was like, okay, pop off. Thank you. Thank you. I just, that's part of being authentic. Okay. If you feel like you have a message, you have something that you want to share from your voice, you have something within that you want to share, like let it out. Okay. Let it out. Just let it out. That's what I did. I just went with the flow. I didn't want to fight like what was inside me. So I wanted to let it out. I wanted to share it. And that's being authentic. That's being you. Shun, your message lives through our team. I teach them your training. Local celebrity Bay Area. Yes, that's dope. That's good. Like that's the ripple effect, the compound effect of sharing, right? Transformation will happen. Jim Rohn, bro, that Jim Rohn, again, foundational pillar of knowledge, of wealth creation, of mindset and personal development. They say that he is like the godfather of personal development. So for everyone who doesn't know or have not yet tuned into Jim Rohn, like please do. I do encourage checking him out for sure. Jenny says, yes, thank you for these free calls. You're welcome. First to market, first to profit. Yep. Especially in this business, okay? Especially in this business. Angela says, now I ask myself, how can I get their markets to see us? Yes. And that's then how I show them. Then I show them how.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you first get the attention and then so it's be authentic, be you, decide on what you want to do. And then now you share the benefits, you share like what's in it for them, you impact their life, you focus on the person you are serving. That attracts them to you and builds KLT at the same time. Then from there, now it's like what you're saying, right? How can I get these markets to see us? And then I show them how to do the same thing, right? And then that's duplication right there. You now start to duplicate yourself, your efforts, and you start to build and grow a bigger team, which then leads to bigger revenue, right? Explosion in revenue and skyrocketing transformation all over.
Yeah.
So amplifying. Thank you for Fire Hour. So Julie says, thank you for Fire Hour. I look forward to this hour every Wednesday. Power couple. Thank you. We appreciate that. The feedback really like just adds more fuel to our fire. And this is like, it's not just us, it's everyone here.
Everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Without you showing up, there is no Fire Hour, right? And so when it comes to showing up as leaders, every single one of you that shows up decides to show up at the time zone that you're in, right? It's early in the morning.
Yep.
It's just that is a decision. You are one decision away from life change. So by you showing up here and we sharing and people chiming into the chats, you know, there might be some 1%er knowledge that you pick up in the chat. And now it's like, all right, let me share that today. Let me share that with the people that need it the most. Let me help, right?
Yeah. It's definitely a commitment. So we don't take that lightly. You know, like what we were saying earlier, like time is passing by so quickly, right? So
Yeah.
like what do? You want to make the most out of it. So we genuinely appreciate like all of you guys and sharing your energy and just taking this time to like be with us, right? Because this helps us as well. Like we're still learning and we're still growing. And if we didn't have you all, like who would we like be accountable towards, right? Like maybe our kids and some of the other things that we're a part of, but like this has truly been one of like the biggest like the highlights of you know our relationship, our own development, and also becoming a part of this community. So thank you guys for sharing your energy and being here and for your time.
Thank you. You just reminded me. It's like the first 2 years of our life, of our relationship was built, you know, like it was developed on FIREHOUR.
It really was like it was rough in the beginning sometimes because we were just starting out, right? And so like it there was a honeymoon and then there wasn't, right? So there would be times where we would legit like have a like just yeah, it was interesting times. But you know what? It's just like life, you have to show up. You know, like there's gonna be ups, there's gonna be downs, but no matter what, you have to just like get back up and continue to show up, right? Like, and you're gonna just get stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
Right. So out of your feelings and in your purpose, like what is your purpose, right? What do you really want? You know, there's going to be days where you don't feel like it. And then there's going to be days where you're like, I'm passionate today. I'm going to like use all of this energy, right? There's days where you're going to feel like, I don't know if I want to do this, but you know what? You just still show up and better days are always going to be ahead, right? Like the bad days come and go, good days do too.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And success is all about showing up. Okay. You're not going to give yourself the opportunity to have success if you don't show up. That's why that's the importance. It's really the importance. Don't compete, dominate. Yes.
That's like his catchphrase.
Dominate your path. Nico says from Trent Shelton, I learned years ago was you might see you're impacting, say 50 people, but those 50 people will go on to tell more people you don't see. Your reach and impact isn't shown in the numbers in front of you. That's right.
It's a ripple effect.
It's the ripple. Yep. You never know who you're going to change, like who you're going to impact, who you're going to connect with in the future. Right. So there's so much good information. Momentum, master your emotions. That is huge. Like that's something that I've been actively, intentionally working on. Right. That right there. If you're a Cancer, your zodiac signs, okay, like that right there. I learned this from a very successful Cancer. Okay, someone who is a zodiac sign Cancer, because I don't know anything about the zodiac signs. Like I need to learn more. I would like to learn more, but I just haven't put in the time to learn. But what I've noticed and learned from other Cancers is that it's like Cancer is the sign of water, and water can be molded and shaped based on its environment and also the person that the user. Okay, and so when it comes to like the being a Cancer, being a zodiac sign of Cancer, you know, water can be shaped in all types of forms, especially when it comes to like emotion, because emotion is motion, right? What is that quote? It's like, dang it, I know Nico knows it because Nico dropped it before, but like energy in motion. Okay, emotion is energy in motion. And as a Cancer, we have a lot of energy. Like everyone has a lot of energy, but just in this particular sense that I'm talking about from this perspective, I learned this from a very successful Cancer. They said that a Cancer who's mastered their emotions can master their universe. Okay. So for me, when I learned about that quote, I started to work on myself intentionally to understand like, all right, yeah, throughout my life, when I reflect, what is something I can work on? I can work on my emotional mastery. Okay. So emotional mastery is life mastery. That's what Tony Robbins says. And that's why I learned. And I started to actively work on that ever since 2017 when I learned about it. Right. So that's huge. Julie says, I love stumbling across Crystal's reels. Always so inspiring and motivational.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the point. Like Crystal was asking me, like
Yeah.
she was saying this. She was like, I would do a video for her and I would like share with her because I think it's valuable. I think someone out there will feel it's valuable or receive it as value. And she would be like, no, I don't know. Like, I don't know about that. Like, why do you think that? And she would like push back on it, which is totally fine, but that's
Yeah.
because that's growth,
Yeah.
right? She's like not yet in that comfort zone of, oh, like, like, okay, I see that that's valuable. Like, I didn't understand. But then we
Yeah.
had a discussion and she started to like, oh, okay, like I understand that now. And it's all about them. Like it's the message that is being received on the other end. It's not about us, right? It's about everyone else.
Yeah.
And so now, like over the past like, week, like you've been saying that you're now like starting to feel in flow. You're starting to be more comfortable with what you're putting out there, like
Yeah.
etc.
It was more so, I was like, am I adding value? So it was never about me. It was about, is this valuable enough? Right. Like it was about who is my target demographic? Like, who am I speaking to? Because, when you watch yourself, sometimes you're like, you're so used to yourself and hearing yourself all the time. So you're like, was that good? And so I was always questioning, like, is this valuable to people? Like, do you think like, it would help someone or inspire someone? And he's like, well, like that is your message, and like someone out there will be inspired by it and influenced by it, right? So like we just have to like keep going, like you just got to keep going and just keep putting it out there. And I'm like, okay, so thanks for the feedback, that helps me a lot, because sometimes I'm just like, is this gonna help somebody?
But it will, like it does, like that's just the part of growing through it, right? Yeah. It's learning yourself, learning about yourself, know thyself. So that is good. It's a good job.
Did you just go that podcast?
No, no, that is like a quote. That is a saying. It's a phrase.
It is a saying, but it's also the name of the podcast of one of the speakers that we have.
Shout out Andre Dukem. So Angela says business and life is bore. Take out all emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Like that, you got to be thinking logically and strategically and with data and information and insights and not emotion, right? Tiffany says, so appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for all that you do. The fire is felt. That's good. Like that's the energy right there. Where are past episodes posted? So all past episodes from last year and this year are on YouTube. They're always posted on YouTube. I need to get to season 1 and 2. I should make some time for it. But time right now is not on my side. It's kind of like
we have the festival in less than a month, and it's been crazy. It's been
Yeah.
crazy, but it's been good crazy. It's been exciting. Something that we've never done before, but we truly think that it will help people. Like, and
Oh, yeah.
people will enjoy it. So
Yeah, I'm
And
enjoying the
that's-
process. But okay, Angela says yes. Success is about showing up. Y'all show up and show out. Yes, exactly. You got to show up and you have to show out, no matter what. If you show up but don't show out, like you're just leaving opportunity on the table. Okay, that's why I've learned. I've actually experienced that firsthand, and I'm like, I gotta just do me. That's it. So just do you. Okay.
yeah.
Stephanie says, where are past episodes? Oh yeah, I read that. I'm sorry. Your feelings, it doesn't change lives. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Unless you channel them, right? Unless you channel them into your message. Um, Virginia says, so Verge says, yes, and the reward you get months from now is from the constant work you put in now.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you don't put in the work today in the now, like so if you don't put in something that you learned from today's episode, like into your life, right? Like what are you leaving on the table? Like what opportunity is left for you on the table? Okay. Roselle says, we love it here. Thank you so much, Crystal, Shun, Angela, and all of you leaders here. That's a shout out to all of you. Thank you. That's true. That's why the more the merrier, right? In like season 1, Fire Hour 2020, like it got up to 200 people on the call. Like 200 people showing up every single day, like
7 days a week.
7 days a
Literally
week.
7 days a week, like no days off.
That was a crazy run. That's
It was
amazing.
fun. It was fun.
Yeah. Angela says Peter is a cancer. I know. And like Peter is very refined. Like he like thinks logically with data.
I was gonna say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you almost wouldn't be able to tell. My dad was a cancer too, and like he ran a business, right? Like a 7-figure business. And I would watch him sometimes, and I'm like, Dad, stop. Like just stop. Like relax. Like,
But that's because it's
take
just
a moment.
yeah. It's like a work. So yeah, it's really good. Shout out to Peter. Heart on their sleeve. Yep. I appreciate all the topics you've covered and things that I've applied in other areas. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
You guys are amazing.
You're
Thank you.
amazing. All that volunteer work you do for like the kids and the schools and stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, Crystal was telling me all the things that you do. So
Yeah.
thank you for everything that you do because that's like that is what we need. You know, like all the effort that you put in for the children,
Yeah.
like for the volunteer work that you do, like that as I continue, like this is something that I've been learning about myself, but as I continue down like this path of philanthropy and like including it into my life, you know, like it really is about the children and about giving back to the world, giving back to society and really making a difference in the communities, right? Like the other past a few months ago, I donated my time to the soup kitchen. And so I'm there like, you know, feeding people and getting like prepared, like preparing food. And we prepared so much food like that it could feed, like it looked like it could feed an entire, like you could have like an entire year's worth of food in the packaging that we did. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I didn't even know this existed, you know, but people need it, right? So that's just one aspect, right? Giving people who are homeless and who are in need of, who are hungry, like food and just preparing it for them, you know, putting your love into that, right? We donated to an orphanage in Mexico, clothing that they needed. Like we're doing, there's so much more that we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing the nonprofit, like we're helping children who don't know, they can't even speak, right? We're giving donations to them, to that organization. We're impacting people through our children's program. Like there's many different aspects that for me personally, like I'm starting to like really fall in love with when it comes to giving back to society because it's like what Stephanie does. Like you're giving back to the people that need it, especially the children. Like they need it. Like again, like what I was talking about earlier, like it's up to us as the leaders of this generation to help impact our children's generation so that way they can do that the same for them, right? And for the future. So yeah, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate everyone who does, you know, gives back to society. Like that's something that's really important to me. Um, Water signs. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know enough about like the zodiac signs. Maybe for the if you are someone that knows a lot about zodiac signs, you know, on a future episode, like let's get you on and let's just discuss it because we can always this is part of personalities and like reading people and learning about how to like work in a team dynamic with other different like with other signs, other energies and combining it together. Okay. That's the
Jackie's
mastermind.
really good.
Yeah, Jackie's good.
We
Yeah.
could have Jackie do a personality slash like zodiac Zoom. I
Yeah.
think that would be really fun because you're learning about yourself and you're learning about others because sometimes you don't understand, right? Like he's a Cancer and I'm an Aries, so he's water and I'm fire. And so we're the complete opposites, right? We're
Yeah.
completely opposite. So it takes sometimes some time to get to know people, to get to know yourself, and you're like, oh, it's because they're, you know, they're like this way or I'm like this way. And so it's nothing ever personal. It's just kind of like it's kind of like your human design, like how you're built, right? But we can all work with each other. We can all come together, even if we have different perspectives, we work differently. As long as we have like that love and compassion for each other, right? And we can
Yeah.
be open with communication and honest and accountable. Everyone can work with each other, right?
Yeah, it's like it's dropping the judgment, like, and then from there, leaving everything on the table, and then being able to let go of attachment. And then when you do that, you use the tools to overcome the ego, the pain body, your attachments, right? And then you're mindful. You're actually more mindful, and you're more conscious, and you are actually raising the vibration of everyone in the room because now there's no attachment to things. So you start to go into flow with nature, and then harmony starts to exist because nature is harmony. So this is just things I'm learning, right? But no, yeah, it is. Like I'm telling you guys right
I know you're learning that because I never heard that from you before. So I'm like, oh, that's what you've been reading.
I'm every single day I wake up to listening to like so I listen to a lot of things first thing in the morning. What if I'm
Programming,
not
yeah.
meditating, like I'm listening to something that is programming me, and I'm listening to people that are from the past, like they're no longer here, and they've changed the world. Okay, so Marcus Aurelius, for example, is in my ear right now. Like I spend 30 minutes every morning with Marcus Aurelius, right? Every single morning, he's in my ear. And guess what? He was the emperor of Rome, right? The Roman emperor. And not just like anyone, but like a benevolent one that is someone who put their people 1st and actively worked on themselves. And so for me to be listening to someone of that a status and stature and someone that changed like the world, you know. That is something that I'm grateful for, but I'm using the tools that are available to me to better myself, because if I don't, then what, you know, who am I going to be? All right, who am I going to be in the process to this world?
Jenny says, I'm emotional. I feel, I cry before I speak. That's sweet. I get like that too. You know, like you just get into your heart and you're just like you're feeling it. And it's great. You know, it's great to be like that. Sometimes people close themselves off to their emotions, but like emotions as being vulnerable and showing people that like you can have it. It's a sign of strength.
Yeah, that's true. Angela is a Cancer rising. See, I don't even know about rising, but it's
I feel like you did. I feel like one of our first conversations you had, like, or at least you told me like what you were, and I was like, "What the heck? I don't even know what I am."
yeah, but I was probably just regurgitating things
Probably.
that I learned.
You're just trying to impress me with like words.
I was like, this person, she probably knows about like zodiac signs of her. Like,
I don't know. I didn't know.
I'm just kidding. You validated her purpose. Keep going, Crystal. Yes,
Thank you.
that's dope. Very valuable. I'm excited for the festival. Thank you.
Yes. Who's
The-
coming?
it's 24 days away. So it's
No pressure.
don't worry. No, it's an open invite for those who want to go. You know, that's why we're having it, right? Angela says the compound effect. Think
Yep.
long term, the bigger picture.
Always.
Exactly. Always think long term. Verge says cancers are great at business. Mike
Oh,
is a
wow.
Cancer. Yeah, that I thought that's so the person that I learned you know, that quote from is a Cancer in business. Very, very successful person. And it is true, you know, it is every zodiac sign can be very successful, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just there's just a deeper layer to like the zodiac signs that like I have yet to uncover, basically. I have yet to
They
discover.
each have to master something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And just says our team grew because constant workflow and not giving up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like don't give up. Like never give up. Never give up on your goals and dreams. It's possible. You just got to give it some time. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? Like Colonel Sanders, like KFC, right? 56 years, I believe. 51 or 52 or 54, 56 years. I forget. I forget what the number is.
I want fried chicken now.
But they like never gave up. And then,
50
you know,
years, I think. Yeah.
yeah, so that right there, like that's a testimony to never giving up. Like
Yeah.
don't quit on your goals and dreams. If you feel like you have it within you and you feel that like intuitively or whatever it is, that sign for you, right? Listen to that sign, pursue it and go after it, because you never know what's going to happen. Okay.
Billy says Capricorns make good, balanced partners. Nice.
Oh,
I didn't
nice.
know that. Twin is a Cancer. Yes. She's
Yep.
fun.
A fun Cancer. It's fun. I loved it. It's fulfilling. Love is always the answer. And that is true. You know, like that is true. Like I believe that. We both believe that. Stephanie says there's so much joy when you see kids grow. My robotics season is starting and I'm so excited. An opportunity presented itself to help my kids and whoever I could take along. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, she also does the robotics team, which I told you about before
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. It's huge.
Yes, the skill is working with people. You're not going to get very far alone, you know, like
Mhm.
you can make it pretty far, right, with a lot of determination, but at the end of the day, like it's truly people that, you know, and building people and valuing them that's
Yeah.
going to get you much further.
Yeah. So for the
I gotta move my
Sorry.
I gotta move my chair up.
Oh, Joanna says Ryan is a Leo
Spikes.
and I'm a Pisces. Fire and water too. That's true. You guys are on the same mission. Yes. I think that we all are, you know, we are on the same mission. Like we all have this, we all have a purpose that aligns together. And I think that's the beauty of us being here on Fire Hour, you know, like with everyone. Yeah, I think we should have like a zodiac sign or a zodiac
Where's
like episode in the
Jackie?
future.
We gotta
Okay.
message Jackie.
Yeah, we gotta
Like,
get
hey, we
Jackie
need a zodiac.
Yeah,
class.
we'll do that in the future, a time in the future, okay? I know we didn't get through everything, but it's just really great.
B says, I'm fire, my husband's earth.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot in the comments about zodiac. So I think we should
Oh,
definitely do
wow.
that. We'll figure out like how to combine it into business and then really add value. But it's about reading people, okay? Like the bottom line is about knowing yourself and then getting along with others, right? And being able to like work cohesively in a team environment to like change, like to make things happen, make the big things happen, right? Alex says My last engraving was on a plaque that says, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Yeah, and that's like the obstacle is the way, right? The obstacle is the way. Like that is very true. That's really, bro. That's really dope. That's really dope. Joanna says, "Rising signs is how people see you from the outside." Oh, interesting. Okay, that makes sense. I'm trying. Okay, you're trying to figure out how to go over, under, through, make it happen, right? That's what I like to say. Like over, under, through, make it happen. Yeah, we'll for sure have like another training. Angela says, today we have compliance training at 11 a.m. PST, so don't miss it.
Yeah.
And like I for everyone here, I do encourage you to learn about compliance.
Yeah.
Because why? Here's why. It's about long term, okay?
Yeah.
You build the business long term. So if you're going to be building a business, you don't have to dive deep into compliance, but just know about it. Like be able to know about it. And so that way, if you see someone on your team breaking compliance, for example, or crossing some guidelines, like let them know, because that hurts you directly, right? That can harm your business directly. So that's part of working together as a team. It's like understand and know like where are the little things that need to be just shifted or tweaked or just changed, so that altogether, so that way it doesn't harm anyone in the way, right?
Yeah.
And that's just part of growing as well
Yeah.
and learning. That's it.
And they make it more fun now. The compliance team, they're so great. They continue to refine things and make things a lot more aesthetically pleasing. Back then, it was just like pages and pages of words when I was reading it. But now they have like certifications, they have like questions and answers, and it's all nice and stuff. So if you guys haven't had a chance to go back there and look, we highly encourage you to go back there and look. This is for your business and for you to be able to teach someone else when someone else comes on.
Yeah. I really love what Angela said here. I'm going on that compliant training so I can learn how I can scream and share louder.
Yeah. Compliantly.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's huge. Okay. That is definitely a motivator to get on compliance training. That's really great though. Like there's a quote, right? Like you have to master the rules to break them. Okay. You have to know the rules to break them. Okay. And it's just something that I learned like in business.
Sean was a great rule follower.
Yeah, I'm a square.
I was always like,
I'm a square.
I think you could do this legally.
And I was like, I don't know about that. Like, I think that the rules are there for a reason. So, yeah, it's just, but anyways, together we can grow much further. Exactly. Joanna says intuition, listen to your gut. Yep. 100%. And yes, Alex, Marcus Aurelius did say that. All right. Isn't that interesting? It's stoicism right there, but just the principles of just, being a better man, being a better person, a better leader, right? For yourself and for others. Fire on Fire by Sam Smith. Music and lyrics speaks to your soul. I'll check that out. Thank you for that, Julie. Can you read this one? Or these last two? And then we'll wrap up the...
Oh yeah, her and her husband are the opposite, but both love to work. And Stephanie says, yes, can we do a horoscope session with Jackie? So everyone just ping Jackie after this.
Yeah. That way we can get it sooner. That's great. Yeah. So, these were the 21 laws of...
Totally not. We're going to keep continuing it, but this was a really good call. And this is what happens. Sometimes you go into flow and you just go. So.
Oh, sometimes you just go into flow and then you just go. Boom. Quote by Crystal.
It's 7:05.
I know, sorry. So, okay. There was a lot of great, like just points and just ideas and topics. And Verge says schedule a 1-1-1 with Jackie is hard work. She'll explain the charts to you too. Oh, okay, a 1-on-1. So that's fire. Okay, so yeah, we'll just
horoscopes.
Yeah, we'll have Jackie on when she can make it. But yeah, on the next episode of Fire Hour, we'll cover more of the leadership laws, and then if we just pivot because like there is something that speaks or sparks something, then we'll keep on going, right? Like we don't have to be rigid and we should be flexible.
Yeah.
If it's adding value, like boom, let's make it happen, So with that said, we will definitely address more social media stuff, but like as we go along, because I think it's really important.
Yeah.
And also like I'm gonna start to play with AI a lot more in terms of like content creation. That's something on my to-do list. So when I start to do that, like that's just for a future topic, but and after I get results, then I'll share more. But like I think that it's important to also like learn how to use AI and
Yeah.
with social media because
Leverage.
yeah, you create leverage. Okay. And yeah, sorry I didn't let you talk a lot on today's call.
That's fine.
But
You were, I'm not always a talkative person. So that's what makes us a great balance.
we got stories, okay, of of what she's talking about too, and how I don't like it sometimes.
What do you
But
mean?
but thank you all for your time, your energy, your effort, and for being present and for showing up. Okay, for you yourself and for Fire Hour for us. And we're gonna crush it. We're gonna keep on going. Don't compete, right? Dominate.
Yeah.
Let your energy speak and let your voice be heard. Everything that you have within, inside, if you feel like you need to share it, don't. Just go for it. Okay. Let it out. Like pour into yourself and pour into others. And continue to share and make an impact in everyone else's lives because you can. It's possible. I
Yeah.
believe it 100%. Okay. And so just to end it, you got what it takes. You just got to give it all that you got, right? Never give up on your dreams. Never give up on your goals. Like go after it with all your might and over, under, and through. No matter what it takes, okay? Make it happen. All right, you got it. We believe in you. We love you all. Have an amazing Wednesday. Crush it, dominate your path, and make it happen. All right.
Love you guys. We'll
Love
see
you
you
all.
guys next week.
I'll see you all on the next call.
Bye.
Next episode. Let's get it. All right. Peace out. Love you all. That part pouring into yourself is the biggest self-love flex you can do.